Hi sewing friends, welcome back to my channel. This is my superpower and my name is Elisa. Today's video is my contribution for the ongoing sewing challenge Sew Upcycle 25. This is a sewing channel that has been around for a couple of years now. It is hosted by Becky from Notes from the Sewing Room and Karen from Sew Little Time. The rules for the challenge are quite simple. You may know them already if you've watched Karen and Becky's videos, which I recommend, or if you're following the challenge and already saw videos from other vloggers. So I'm going to show you some graphics with the rules, sponsors and prizes that you can win, but it's very simple. You have to make an upcycled garment or a bag. You have to use something other than new fabric. You have to include a before photo of what you've used. If you use curtains or bed linen or some other garment that you are going to upcycle, you have to include a before photo and reveal your garment, so your after photo, on October the 31st on Instagram. And don't forget to use the hashtag SewUpcycle25 and to tag Becky and Karen. I've participated in this challenge several times before, and so this year, to give you some inspiration, I decided to share my previous upcycling projects. I'm going to go in chronological order, starting 2022. I think this was the first year this challenge was launched, if I'm not mistaken, and for that year I was very inspired. So I made 7 upcycling projects, and I made 2 videos. I made a plans video and a reveal video for the challenge. So I would appreciate if you would go back and watch those. But in any case, I'm going to share some pictures from the things that I made that year, 2022. What I started with, the materials that I started with, and what I made in the end. So let's start with project number 1. Project number 1 were boxer shorts. I bought a extra large men's shirt at a thrift shop and made boxer shorts out of it. I specifically bought the t-shirt to make shorts because I like the material. The shirting fabric is really soft, shiny, soft, very smooth, very comfortable to wear, as my husband tells me. And I like the colors, and it was very inexpensive. I have a pattern that I cloned from some store-bought boxer shorts that he had and that he wore for a long time. And then when I couldn't mend them anymore, I took them apart and cloned the pattern, the fabric, the shorts, and made my own pattern out of it. So that's what I've been using ever since to make him new boxer shorts. So that was project number 1, boxer shorts out of a men's shirt. Number 2 were mittens that I made out of a woolen sweater. The sweater didn't fit anymore. I think I accidentally washed it in hot water, so it was not completely, but in some parts of the sweater it was like felt. It was felted, so I used that to make mittens. I'm not sure if that qualifies according to this year's rules, if mittens are considered accessories or garments. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not a garment, but check with Becky and Karen if you want to make something similar. So that was project number 2. Number 3, I had a woolen dress. I think it was originally a dress. It was too small for me, so I used it to make 2 things that I can use. So one of them was a skirt, a very comfortable woolen skirt. And the other one, because I still had some scraps, I used it to make a beanie for my son. So small size, but I had just enough to make him a beanie, and it's lined. So the outside was wool and the inside was some jersey fabric. Projects number 5 and 6 were made out of a men's shirt. I had a large men's shirt that I used to make 2 dresses, 2 little girls' dresses. One is the Petal wrap dress by Twig and Tail, and this is a reversible dress, so I used quite a lot of fabric for this one, but it was a big shirt, so I still had enough to make a second one. And that dress was a pattern from a German upcycling book. I'm going to put the name of the book in the description box, and also recommend that you watch my previous video, or my video from that year's challenge, so that you get more details about it. But it was a really quick make. You just use your button placket for the main part of the dress, and then you have a rectangle to make the skirt. There's a pattern for the sleeves, and it's a really quick make, and I think the dress looked so adorable. So I was very happy to use this shirt to create something else. Project number 7 was a sweater that I upcycled into a cardigan. This was a sweater that I loved, that I wore for several years, but at some point it had holes, moth holes, right down the center, and also here on the sleeves. And so what I decided to do, because I wasn't ready to let it go, so I cut the sweater down the center, and I used bias binding to bind those edges. So I use bias binding down the center and also here on the sleeves. And to make it a bit more fancy, I used some leftover fabric that I had, the same fabric from the bias binding, and I made a fabric flower that I attached to the cardigan using a pin. So I use it with this cardigan, but if I have something else with neutral colors, I can take the pin off and use it with another coat, for example. Now let's talk about upcycling jeans. That is something that is very popular. There are lots of projects out there. In my case, my jeans, my ties rub against each other, so that area is always the first one to go. After mending a few times, when there's no more hope left, what I usually do is I cut them up, and I use the denim to make jeans for my sons. So that's the way I upcycle my old jeans. And I made it several times. Last year, in 2023, I was pregnant with my second child, in desperate need for maternity jeans, and I couldn't find jeans that I liked at a reasonable price. There were jeans, but they were so expensive that I decided to make my own. And that was my So Upcycled video for the challenge in 2023. I will link to that video, and I appreciate if you take the time to watch it. But just to give you an idea, I cut the jeans that I was wearing at the time that weren't fitting anymore, and I just cut them up, inserted a maternity panel. I wore them all through my pregnancy and for quite some time after having the baby. And when they didn't fit anymore, I wasn't going to keep them around. So I cut them up and made jeans for my son again. So that was an upcycle from an upcycle. The last category that I want to share with you for upcycling inspiration is duvet covers. I'm a big fan of using home textiles and upcycling them into garments. I've made coats, I've made dresses, several dresses, I've made pants, and I've most recently made pajamas out of duvet covers. I'm going to show you some pictures of my latest projects. Hopefully they are an inspiration for you. Hopefully you get some ideas. Look around or go to your thrift shop if you can find beautiful fabric. Don't just leave it there. Don't let it end up in the landfill. Upcycle it and make it into something that you are proud to wear. This is my very comfortable Forester coat that I made out of a flannel duvet cover. Here you can see my Fernway culottes that I made out of a flannel duvet cover. Next is my plains dress. This is my Fable dress, one of my latest makes. And this is my most recent make, a pajama set out of a duvet cover that you might recognize from IKEA. I used 2 patterns to make this set. The top is the Scenic top and the shorts are the coastal cuffed shorts. And I will link all patterns that I mentioned in the description box. Those were some of my upcycled garments for inspiration. On my to-do list are woolen pants. I want to make pants for the winter, and the final garment will be out of wool, but for the muslin, and I will probably have to make more than one because it's the first time that I'm trying this pattern. For the muslin, I will that will be an upcycle because I will definitely be using duvet covers again. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had a good time going back and watching pictures of my makes and what they came from. I hope this video was helpful or inspirational in some way. And if you're participating in the challenge, let me know in the comment section. I love to interact with you, and I'll see you on my next video, hopefully very, very soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.